If you are a long-time subscriber to my channel, then you know that over the years, I have been trying to document some of the violence that takes place at fast food restaurants across America, especially McDonald's. Because look, I'm a fat guy, and I have some fond memories of McDonald's when I was growing up. And I think that most of us do. And I find it fascinating and at the same time heartbreaking that McDonald's used to be a place that you could go as a kid. Like your parents would take you to McDonald's. They would buy you a Happy Meal that comes with a toy, and you would play on the playground. McDonald's used to be a safe place for families. And when you would go there, there would be families there every day playing, joyful, smiles on everyone's faces. But in a short time, in just a couple of decades, McDonald's went from this happy, joyous place that you would take your kids to being a violent war zone, overcome by crackheads and just the worst of the worst. And it's legit sad. It's heartbreaking that I see some of these McDonald's that I used to go to when I was younger. And I remember, hey, I used to play on that playground. And now that McDonald's, like I said, is run down, overrun by crackheads, poor customer service, people getting beat up in the drive-thru, all types of crazy stuff going on. And if you pay attention to the news closely, you'll see every couple of days there's a murder, there's a shooting at McDonald's or another fast food restaurant. Either it's an employee going crazy, killing the manager, maybe an employee attacking a customer, or the other way around. It's always something. And it was not always like this. I think it's important that we remind people that America was not always this bad. You used to be able to go get chicken McNuggets without getting choked out by some fat lady named LaQuanda. You used to be able to go get a cheeseburger without catching a stray bullet at McDonald's, okay? You used to be able to go places without worrying about violent weirdos everywhere. And I think we need to teach the upcoming generations that things weren't always this bad. And hopefully we can strive for making things better. Hopefully we could take things back to how they were back in the day. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. Is it possible? Maybe. But it's important to let people know that things were not always this way. But right now, right now it's hard to do that. Because, like I said, every couple of days you're hearing about another shooting. In fact, in Florida, there was just another shooting at McDonald's. Apparently, a couple of people went to go get some hamburgers after they got out of the club. McDonald's refused to take their order because they were backed up on online orders. And the people threatened to shoot up the McDonald's. They went inside. They started arguing with the employees. And one of the employees popped them right there in the middle of the McDonald's. Popped them right in the neck. Right around other paying customers. Imagine you're inside of McDonald's trying to get some chicken selects or something. Maybe you're there for a large fry. And you got McDonald's customers shooting people in the neck right in front of you and stuff. It's insane. But instead of trying to describe the situation, I think we should allow the sheriff of Polk County to describe the situation. Because he does a great job at doing so. I have this clip that you guys have to see. You really have to see this. I want to roll this clip, but before I do, if you're here, if you enjoy the channel, if you support the channel, please hit that thumbs up. Please share the video to social media. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think so far. Let me know some of your fond McDonald's memories. And also, if you want to take your support one step further and donate, You could always send a donation via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always so greatly appreciated. With that being said, though, let's listen to this story from the sheriff, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
I want to introduce you to our victim, Juan Soto. He's 21, and he was working an overnight shift at McDonald's. He's working hard, a working man. So in the meantime, a lot of concerts let out and different events, and McDonald's right on the Osceola Polk line gets overwhelmed with online orders. I mean, like one guy orders 40 hamburgers, you know what I mean? So they're doing their best to catch up with these orders when a couple of guys come through the drive-thru and want to order. One politely tells them, hey, sorry guys, but we're way behind. Online orders are like overwhelming us. Now, quite frankly, McDonald's needs to think through this, in my humble opinion. I mean, it seems like you want to take care of people that are there at your restaurant before somebody on a telephone, but that's not my business decision. So anyway, Soto tells these guys that, I'm sorry, we can't take any orders. We got to catch up. They start threatening him. We're going to hang out here. When you get off, we are going to beat you up. They threatened to attack the man who just told them, we're busy, we can't take any more orders. And he did that because the manager told him to. They threatened him with violence. He told them, well, I get off at 4. And he went back to work. Well, what do these goober smoochers do? They park their vehicle and they come in the restaurant. Nicholas Jones, who's 18 from Haines City, and Peter Story, who's 19 from Davenport. And they continue to threaten. And during the scrum, this conversation takes place where once again they threaten our victim Juan. So they're jawing each other. Man. They're having a argument, right? At McDonald's over McHamburgers or lack of McHamburgers. And one of them mentions, I've got a switch. I got a 30 clip. So here these guys come in and threaten violence with guns. Soto replies, I got a gun. Yeah, I got a Millie. And now the 22-year-old manager steps between them, trying to stop this kerfuffle from occurring, because there's a rabble afoot right now in McDonald's. We could call it a McRabble, and that's not a sandwich. So when they continue to threaten a mass shooting, because there's customers there with their firearms, he goes back and retrieves a gun out of his backpack. And he comes into the lobby to confront these guys who have threatened him and threatened the store and threatened to shoot the place up. And now he's trying to get them out of the store. The store manager is saying, get out of here, you're trespassing. Well, Jones here, he thinks he's a lawyer, I guess. He says, nobody can trespass me from this McDonald's beside the McSheriff. Well, listen, the owners or managers can. So now he's trying to protect his manager, himself, from violence, the store, the customers. They're threatening to shoot up the place. And as they try to grab his gun, pulls the trigger. And he shoots Peter Story in the neck. It's a blessing that it was a very minor wound. But you know what? When you start shooting guns, you get people's attention, and they'll let you have the restaurant. And that's what they did. So Jones is driving his buddy to the hospital, and he's making a call. Juan Soto now is scared. So what does he do? He grabs his gun and the casing and the projectile that's now on the floor and flees because he's scared. The sheriff's deputies arrive. They call Juan Soto. He comes back. He cooperates. This investigation takes a while. We have to talk to witnesses. We have to look at the videotape. Oh, you'll get to see the McScrum in just a minute. And we ended up charging Juan Soto with tampering with evidence. That's a felony. We end up charging Jones and Story with trespass after warning and disorderly conduct. Listen, folks, it's never okay to threaten a mass shooting. It's never okay to threaten to beat people up at a business. And it's never okay to grab your ammunition and your firearm and run after a shooting. Now, the reality of it is he has a right to stand his ground and protect himself. And these guys are threatening to do violence after they've already threatened on the outside of the store and came inside. They created a well-founded fear in him and the store manager. It was just a McMess. But we'll sort it out because we're McGood at investigating McCrime. Take care.
I'm sure some of you have already seen this guy. You're probably aware of who he is because he goes viral all the time. But that is the Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. And remember how I was saying earlier that I wish America could go back to how it used to be? Well, if we want America to go back to how it used to be, we need more sheriffs like him. If we had more sheriffs like him across America, we would be in a much better position right now. Not only does he get the job done, not only is he tough on crime, but he also has a good sense of humor. He's not an asshole, you know what I mean? He's a good guy, a good sense of humor, and he's really transparent. You don't usually get this much transparency, but he sits down on social media and he explains these stories in a way that most people aren't used to seeing. And like I said, you've probably seen him in the past because he goes viral sometimes because of how he explains things. But I mean, I couldn't help but just laugh all the way through as he was explaining the situation that happened at McDonald's. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's just sad to see. It's really sad, to see these stories all the time because it feels like we're watching America decay right in front of our faces. And a lot of people may think, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just fast food. But nothing represents the downward spiral of America better than what's taking place inside of McDonald's across the country. And I know that might sound crazy, right? But it's true. We literally went from colorful play places to shootouts involving people of color within 2 decades. In under 20 years, we went from McDonald's being a safe place that you could take your kids for a cheap, maybe unhealthy meal as you allow them to run around on the playground. We went from McDonald's being a place like that to being a place that is totally run by rude employees, halfway run by computers now, where crackheads are shooting up in the bathroom, homeless people are congregating in the lobby, and the employees and the customers are getting into shootouts all the time. And that's only when, the employees and the managers aren't fighting. Like you used to walk into McDonald's and the employees would greet you with a smile. You would get good service. Your fries would be golden, brown, and crispy and good. And you didn't have to worry about taking a bullet. And the food would be cheap. Now you're buying a overly priced hamburger. And if the hamburgers don't kill you, the employees will. Or maybe another raging out customer who got a wrong order. It's just so crazy. But like I said, it perfectly represents the downward spiral of America. But I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? Let me know. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon in the next one.